Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Nara Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jammudiraye. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Do you all remember that till where did I halt? It was definitely not the 15th shloka. We went.
Another set of things needs to be explained because, and then we stop there.
Did I explain about Shishupal? That day I explained about Shishupal, right?
Yes.
I think I had completed even the 20th shloka also. Till 20th.
22nd we need to start, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yes.
21st Mataji, I think, because my screen is showing 20th. So I think we read 20th.
Okay, so unparalleled qualities. No, I did explain, no? 3 Purusha Avataras, Guna Avataras, 3 modes, 3 worlds.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. And in fact, 22nd also. So 23rd onwards, I said that there are 10 more shlokas left. So yeah, that's how I think that I'm relating to it. Then why did I come up on this page? I don't understand. When you have a long gap like this, no? This is the condition of the class. Teacher also forgets what did I teach. Yeah, yes. From here we had to start. Shukdev Goswami starts speaking. So this is a nice shloka. It says that Iti uddhavad upakarnya suridam duha sahasam vadam jnanena yatyakshata shokam upatitam buddha. Yes, Sunil, please read the translation and purport both.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, after hearing from Uddhava all about the annihilation of his friends and relatives, they learned Vidura specified his overwhelming bereavement by dint of his transcendental knowledge. Purport. Vidura was informed that the result of the battle of Kurukshetra was the annihilation of his friends and relatives as well as the destruction of the Yadu dynasty and also passing away of the...
I'm sorry. Actually, this is the 4th chapter. Actually, we are still on the 2nd chapter, actually.
Chapter, no.
We are just on the 2nd chapter, this 4th chapter. So I was just wondering that only, that how come... Putana. I was thinking that why is this shloka not coming up? So actually we are over here. It says that Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsayapayadat api asadhavi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tato anyam kam va dayalu sharanam rajeme. Yeah, Prabhu. Please read the translation and purport now. This is the perfect shloka. Sorry, Prabhu.
Translation. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. Purport. Here is an example of extreme mercy of the Lord. even to his enemy. It is said that the nobleman accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, just as one accepts nectar from a stalk of poison. In his babyhood, he was administered deadly poison by Putana, a she-demon who tried to kill the wonderful baby. And because she was a demon, it was impossible for her to know that the Supreme Lord, even though playing the part of a baby, was no one less than the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. His value as the Supreme Lord did not diminish upon his becoming a baby to please his devotee Yashoda. The Lord may assume the form of a baby or shape of other than that of a human being, but it does not make the slightest difference. He is always the same Supreme. A living creature, however powerful he may become by dint of severe penance, can never become equal to the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna accepted the motherhood of Putana because she pretended to be an affectionate mother, allowing Krishna to suck her breast. The Lord accepts the least qualification of the living entity and awards him the highest reward, that is the standard of his character. Therefore, who but the Lord can be ultimate shelter? Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So this is such a wonderful shloka where I remember one time His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, this is a very strong memory that I have. On this shloka, he spoke for 1 month almost during Janmashtami time. On this only this. Every word he explained in much detail. So over here, they explaining the magnanimity of the Supreme Lord, that how magnanimous that Krishna gave the position of a dhatri, a motherly nurse, to whoever, to Putana, who was actually very, very envious, Jighamsaya, and she was a see, sadhav means one who is faithful. Asadhavi means one who is not faithful. And then Putana is also called Baki. Why? Because she is the sister of Bakasur. Okay. And that is why from Bakasur then it is Baki. And she came to kill him with her poison breast. Stana Kala Putam. So she came, Putam means poison. Kala means deadly poison. And how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than him? So this evil Putana, who is offering her poisonous breast to Krishna to drink with the intention of killing him, she attained the position of a nurse in the spiritual world. And Uddhava is saying that, oh, who else can be so merciful? And that is why I am surrendering to him. So, remembering Krishna's sweet mercy, even to those who wanted to harm Krishna when he first appeared in the world. And Uddhava is lamenting on that. So, Putana, she pretended to have, she pretended to have sentiments of a mother. But she gave him poison, to kill him. And she attained the position in Goloka, similar to that of, the nurses who used to nurse Krishna in the spiritual world, or who are nursing Krishna in the spiritual right now also. So, Krishna has two real nurses, and their names are Ambika and Kalimma. Okay. So, though Putna had only the dress of a devotee, but she attained love suitable to a devotee. So, though she hated the Lord, and he made her an instrument or an example. So that is why this incident shows Krishna's quality of giving liberation and bhakti to even those people who hate Krishna. So, when actually Kamsa had sent this Putana, so this Putana was when what happened is that when this Bakasur, I just forget that history actually of this Putana. I wanted to say the history of Putana. Because in her past life, Putana, she was the sister of Bali Maharaj, who was a demon and who had conquered all the gods. So when Vaman Dev had approached Bali, so she had fallen in love with Lord Vaman Dev. Oh, means she had wished that, oh, what a wonderful boy. I wish I was this little boy's mother. So those motherly feelings aroused in that the sister of Bali. But when she saw that how he had manipulated Bali and stole everything from their family, then her feelings actually turned into hatred. So originally, that instant raga that came from her was that I wish I was the mother. And then the wish came that I wish I can kill this boy. So when Krishna later appeared, she became Putana, who tried to kill Krishna and by poisoning her. So when Krishna sucked out her prana through her breast, then she died. But she did not attain that same type of liberation what most of the enemies of Krishna had attained. Most enemies, relinquish. Relinquish means they gave up their egos entirely, and they became actually homogeneous within that consciousness, that the Brahman. But Putana instead developed a bhakti ego and attained a personal form in Krishna Leela as one of his nurses, Dhatri. And because her initial feeling, or that main feeling was that of that affection for Krishna, then Krishna actually held on to that particular feeling. And then what did he do? That secondary feeling that she had of hatred or of anger, over that Bali Maharaj. So then he actually disregarded that, or he did not consider that. And that shows that Krishna is not flawed by pride, anger, or forgiveness. So, one of the verses in the Bhagavatam where he is reciting actually about Putana. And this Putana incident was set by Srila Vyasdev to Shukdev Goswami. So, Krishna showed the highest limit of mercy on Putana. And because she had done the highest limit of offensive deed by killing Krishna. So, that's how when this Putana pastime comes, there are many elaborate explanations given by different acharyas, and so many people give classes on Putana Moksha and Putana Uddhar, Trinavat Uddhar, and there are many actually stories where Srila Vyasadeva also very elaborately had, given this on Putana Vadh, deliverance. Because while on Kamsa's order, this Putana went about actually killing many children in towns and villages. So she actually dressed herself in the disguise of a very beautiful woman, and she entered into the house of Mother Yashoda, and Krishna was literally showing that nature of a small baby. He closed his eyes as if, to avoid the face of Putna. So on that very spot, this Putana, she took Krishna on her lap, and she actually breastfeeded him. And but the Supreme Lord, becoming very angry at her, took hold of her breast and squeezed it very hard with both the hands, and actually sucked out both the poison also and her life air also. And she kept on screaming, please leave me, as such. And her eyes literally bulged out at that point of time, and she fell dead on the ground, like a great mountain, falls on the ground. So without fear, Krishna was playing, on her breast. And when these gopis and all small children saw that, they immediately came forward, and then they picked him up. And so when Krishna killed her, she was immediately, freed of all that material contamination. Her sinful reactions immediately vanquished or vanished, and even her, that big gigantic body that she had, was being burnt, and a smoke was emanating from her body. But that smoke which was emanating from her body was actually very fragrant, like some incense it was. So because Putana was always hankering for the blood of human children, and with that desire she came to kill Krishna. But because she offered her breast to the Lord, she attained that greatest achievement that the Supreme Lord gave. And remembering this, Uddhav is saying that who can be more merciful? Imagine in our own lives also, like from an application point of view, I'm saying this, that for example, somebody comes to harm you, but what do is, because he's come to harm you, you will actually behave very nicely as if nothing has happened. And though that person has come to kill you, but you tell him, okay, take this 10 lakhs and you can start a nice business on your own. Will somebody do like this? Nobody will do like this. But this is actually the most magnanimous nature of Krishna, that though somebody had come to Krishna, what he had done, that he had shown mercy to Putana. And that's how Krishna, that how Krishna is very supremely merciful. So even Uddhava, who is the dearmost friend of Lord Krishna, and he's in ecstasy of transcendental separation from the Lord. So he's remembering Lord Krishna, and he's remembering Lord Krishna in an association of whom? He's remembering Krishna in the association of Uddhava, who is a Paramhamsa Vaishnava. So when these two sincere devotees, they will come together, naturally, the most auspicious topics about the Supreme Lord are shared amongst them. So even in the Bhagavad-gītā, there is a shloka in the 10th chapter, that is actually the Chatushloki Bhagavad-gītā, where he says that mat chitta matagata prana bodhayantas parasparam kathayantascha ma nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So when the devotees come together, what do? They take great joy in describing the wonderful characteristics, qualities, pastimes, and names of the Supreme Lord. And for them, this is the treasure of the hearts of all the Vaishnavas. What is the treasure of all the hearts? To hear, to chant, and to glorify Krishna. That is the treasure. And in the mood of separation, like how Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has taught, that the most intensified and the sweetest manifestation of Krishna comes into our heart. And the same way, even the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they experienced and revealed that love of Krishna to the whole world in that mood of separation. So in the Bhagavatam, we find in the pages of Uddhav Gita also, in the 11th canto, where Uddhava is completely, very much in the mood of separation from Krishna, or is completely not happy in the association of Krishna. So from the core of his heart, he is remembering the loving exchanges between him and Krishna, or him and the other devotees. So he's remembering this beautiful Leela, and the previous acharyas, they say that this particular Leela actually had taken place in Gokul Mahavan, where Krishna was appearing on this earth in the form of the Supreme Lord as a small child Krishna. And Kamsa had already understood that this child Krishna is actually the cause of my destruction. But he was born somewhere else and I need to find him. And because Kamsa had an evil, association, his mind became very perverted. And he had an egoistic attachment to this, temporary body or life. So he began to perform very cruel activities. In fact, the most inhuman activities he started performing. And he had ordered that, okay, go and keep on killing every baby child that is born within these 10 days. So, and Putana was the sister of Bakasur. And Putana actually was a mystic yogi. But you can say, unfortunately, she accepted her powers for causing distress to the other living entities, or causing sorrow to the other living entities. So, what power she had? She had a power that she could assume any form that she had desired. And basically, Putna was a witch actually. And her business was to just kill newborn babies. And after killing those newborn babies, what she used to do is, she used to take great pleasure in drinking their blood. So that is why she had assumed this form. She had assumed the most beautiful form, and she looked like, some Apsara who had come from the heaven, or goddess. And when she came in Vraj, she was means the residents of these Vraja, they thought, oh, she must be some very special person. She must have come from the heavenly planets. and oh, she's come to give blessings to her little baby, and because she's looking so beautiful and charming, so she was not checked. She was given some unrestricted entrance into the house of Mother Yashoda and Nanda, and to and in fact she was given entrance into the most inner chamber bedroom of Yashoda and Nanda, and then there she saw actually Lord Kṛṣṇa, and as a transcendental baby. And when Putna saw Kṛṣṇa, she understood that oh, this is a very special child. Huh? I think he is the supreme person. She knew it actually, that I think he is the supreme person, but she was deluded. And although Kṛṣṇa is so attractive, but her propensity was so high that she still had the conviction that she had that power to kill him. So here is Kṛṣṇa, here is Putana. She knew that this is a special child, and he's a supreme person, but she was deluded. And although Kṛṣṇa was very attractive, but because of that propensity that she had of killing babies, she had that conviction that no, I have the power to kill him. So that's how she smeared, poison on her breast, and she she was able to mesmerize Kṛṣṇa. And when Kṛṣṇa looked at her, he closed the eyes, and His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and His Holiness His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, they say that he closed his eyes. And why he closed his eyes? That he was just a little baby, so naturally it was that he was not able to even properly see. And others say that he descended in this world to annihilate the demons. And so he came on the call of the demigods to protect demons. So Kṛṣṇa came to annihilate these demons, and you can say in one sense that you can say that this was the inauguration demon killing ceremony in this particular incarnation. The first demon that Kṛṣṇa killed was actually Putana. And the first demon to be slain by the Lord was actually a woman. So in the Shastras, they say that old people, women are actually not to be killed. But Kṛṣṇa understood that beyond all such moral principles, the protection of his devotees is more important. And he has come for the establishment of dharma, and that must be done. So he pretended to be an innocent child, and Putna was like in a mood, at least pretending to be the mother of Kṛṣṇa. And that's how so many of the acharyas also say that, see, what is good fortune, Kṛṣṇa is in her own arms. What a lucky lady she is. That is Supreme Personality of Godhead. She did not do any penances. She did not do any tapasya. She did not do anything. But here is the Supreme Lord who is actually in her own arms. So even if we see in our devotee circle also, that we see so many devotees performing so many austerities, and we give up so many things that everyone in the world is trying to enjoy. And we are chanting so many mantras and engage in so much of this puja and so much of kirtan, and Why we are doing all this? Just with that hope that one day, Krishna will be pleased upon me and award me pure, unalloyed service of his devotees. But Putana, she had Krishna, whose body was, full of nectar. And when the gopis used to, hold Krishna in this baby form in their arms, he was as soft like a butter. And just that touch of Krishna filled them with ecstasy. Imagine, if you touch somebody and you feel ecstatic, right? So, just the sight of Krishna filled their hearts with so much of love. And here is Putana. She had that same child in her arms, but because she had evil intentions, she could not experience that ecstasy at all. And she could not experience anything, but she was experiencing only envy towards the Supreme Lord. So, Krishna in the Bhagavad-gītā also, I remember, he says that, 4th chapter, 11th shloka, he says that, Ye yatha ma prapadyante tam tathas bhajamya. Say, as we approach Krishna, Krishna will reward us accordingly. And Srila Prabhupada always says that Krishna is not different than the deity. And if we approach the deity as a piece of wood or a stone, then the deity will reveal himself to us also as a piece of wood or stone. Right? But if with that great humility and sincerity, we approach the deity with the desire to please and serve, so then Krishna will reveal himself. That he will reveal himself as the all beautiful reservoir of sweet qualities, and he will fill our hearts with that love that we are hankering for, that transcendental love that we are really hankering for. So, it's the Holy Week. Holy Week, actually, this is the Holy Week from the 17th September to the, I think, 28th September. So, Krishna and his name, if we approach the holy name in the mood of being the humble servant of the servant, then Krishna will reveal himself through his name. As because he's the source, he's the all attractive source for all bliss, or all attractive source of all bliss. And if we approach the holy name just as a normal, ordinary sound vibration, we will hardly hear anything, we'll hardly hear anything, but we will only think that, okay, this is some normal, ordinary sound vibration, which is coming out from my mouth. So, Krishna is always merciful. And because he is merciful to everyone, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad-gītā that, see, I am equal to everyone. I don't envy anyone. And just if the way you approach me, I will reward you accordingly. So Krishna, started reciprocating with Putana's envy. And in fact, when he was drinking from the breast of Putana, her full life force was being dragged from her. She became so much inflicted with pain and suffering, and fear also was there. Oh, what will happen? And for, the acharyas say this is the most terrific or terrible type of purification that she was going through from that point of view. So with all that power, she was trying to pull away Krishna from, from her. And in fact, that she was crying also, please leave me, please me. But Krishna very effortlessly, like a small baby, he was enjoying and, drinking and all. And soon she could no longer maintain her disguise. And then she assumed that original form that she was, her original form was, in fact, in the Krishna book, it says that her original form was almost 8 miles in size, Putanas. And then first she ran out of the house of Nanda, and then she assumed a very big, gigantic Rakshasi form actually. And she was pulling Krishna, but Krishna went on sucking, and she was crying and she was screaming. And so when the Vrajavasis actually saw this, they were completely shocked and they were amazed. And the whole description in the, that Putna chapter shows that how her body was looking like a huge dried up lake, and her fingers were like bridges, and her breasts were like mountains, and Krishna was very effortlessly crawling on her body. And though the Vrajavasis were in great fear, Krishna so innocently, was picked up by them, and they all began to think that, oh, Krishna is saved by the Supreme Lord, and it must be because of all our pious activities. And then Mother Yashoda, she began to perform various rituals to protect him by putting cow dung and cow urine on on his various bodily parts. And she was rubbing some various auspicious ingredients also with the tail of a cow. Then the cow, so there the importance of the cow is also shown, that how the cow is so sacred, that everything coming from the body of the cow is all auspicious, and it invokes good fortune. And then Krishna is enjoying very much being, bathed by giving so many gifts, and that mother cow is offering. And and Uddhava is actually remembering this. What is he remembering? That what is this extent of the causeless mercy of the Lord? That Krishna, that she came to kill him, but because she's assumed the form of a mother, Krishna only saw that, and she was purified of all that evilness, that of all her evilness, and she went through that, some suffering, and only for a few minutes, but she died in the presence of the Supreme Lord, in the mood of being his mother. Now see, in the Bhagavatam, how many have died in front of the Supreme Lord? Right? Who all have laid down their lives or given up their bodies in front of the Supreme Lord? One immediate example that I can always think is Bhishma Dev, where Bhishma Dev is, ready to leave his body, and the last moments Krishna is coming, and Krishna is giving his darshan to Bhishma Dev, right? So in the Bhagavatam, we can also think about that. Who are all those people who died in the presence of Krishna? So of course, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra also, there were many soldiers who died in the presence of Krishna. But in the presence of Krishna, especially, Krishna goes to that particular person on his deathbed and gives him. So we can just think about certain examples where they died in the presence of Krishna, and what type of liberation they got. Maybe this can be a homework. So she achieved the form of liberation which only who all get, all these Paramhamsas, the pure devotees, can ever even hope to expect. And she became the eternal mother of Krishna in the spiritual world. So, if you see that this is the infinite, causeless mercy of, Krishna. And in one place, Srila Prabhupada also explains that this is the nature of a noble person. So what is the nature of a noble person is that he always sees good qualities in anyone, however bad that person may be. So the quality of an ignoble person is that they are always looking for bad qualities in others. And however actually these good may be. So Prabhupada gives the example of the fly. She's always seeking for, some dirt and poison and some substances like that. But the honeybee is always actually looking for nectar. She's always seeking nectar. So we should learn very carefully from these two examples that we should always be searching for good qualities in anyone and everyone, even with our enemies. Of course, there are very few who will be Ajata Shatru. Ajata Shatru means no friend, no enemy. So, the very quick example that I come in my mind is actually Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj is called Ajata Shatru. Yudhishthir Maharaj did not have friends, neither enemies, because his behavior is only such that he should never think people as their enemies. So if we associate with anyone's bad qualities by thinking about them, by speaking about them, and by that association we will also be imbibing their bad qualities. So when we see a person who is very much very much accustomed to finding faults, especially with the devotees. So then, such a person is generally, full of bad qualities, like a black heart. And a person who is looking always for the good qualities in others, even though he may having so many faults, but because he is looking for good qualities and speaking the good qualities of such people, so his heart is like a fresh lotus flower. And his heart is always filled with nectar, because the lotus is always filled with nectar. His heart is also filled with nectar. And that particular person is giving pleasure to the Lord and to every soul. He's giving pleasure to the Lord also, he's giving pleasure to himself also, but he's giving pleasure to the other devotees also. So that's how Uddhava is actually remembering over here. And actually there is lots to say. Whatever I remember, I'm just actually speaking whatever I heard from 2-3 great souls in our movement. So let's go to the next. Sorry, the whole class only went on this. So now further he says that what does Uddhava say? Further he says that Manne asuran bhagavatam sat trayadishe samrambha marga bhivinnish abhinevishta chittan ye sanyugya chat taksharya putra mase sunya bhayadhum apatanam. So he says that, Rupa Mataji, please read the translation and purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The screen is not there.
Oh, why is the screen not there? It is there. Sushil Prabhu, you are able to see the screen?
Now I can see Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Vasudeva, who compiled the Vedic scriptures. The pure devotees drink up the nectarian transcendental knowledge dropping from the lotus-like mouth of the Lord. Purport. In the pursuance of specific utterance, Veda say, or the compiler of the system of transcendental knowledge,
What's
Srila.
something different? Okay,
Oh,
let
I
me
think I mean. Oh, sorry, Mataji.
now can you see this? Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna. I consider the demons who are amicable toward the Lord to be more than the devotees, because while fighting with the Lord, absorbed in the thoughts of enmity, they are able to see the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Tarksha, Kashyapa, and carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. Mataji, what is Tarksha means?
The son of Tarkasha. So, this Garuda is actually the son of Tarkasha. So, the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Tarksha, and carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. So, over here he's saying that while dying, they were able to see the Lord on Garuda with chakra, actually, carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. So, this is what he's saying over here. Let's read the
Purport. The asuras who fought against the Lord face to face got salvation due to their being killed by the Lord. This salvation of the demons is not due to their being devotees of the Lord. It is because of the Lord's causeless mercy. Anyone who is slightly in touch with the Lord, somehow or other, is greatly benefited, even to the point of salvation, due to the excellence of the Lord. He is so kind that he awards salvation even to his enemies, because they come into contact with him and are indirectly absorbed in him by their inimical thoughts. Actually, the demons can never be equal to pure devotees. But Uddhava was thinking in that way because of his feelings of separation. He was thinking that at that last stage of his life, he might not be able to see the Lord face to face as did the demons. The fact is that the devotees who are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord in transcendental love are rewarded many hundreds and thousands of times more than the demons by being elevated to the spiritual planets, where they remain with the Lord in eternal blissful existence. The demons and impersonalists are awarded the facility of merging in the Brahmajyoti effulgence of the Lord, whereas the devotees are admitted into the spiritual planets. For comparison, one can just imagine the difference between floating in space and residing in one of the planets in the sky. The pleasure of the living entities on the planets is greater than that of those who have no body and who merge with the molecules of the sun races. The impersonalists, therefore, are no more favored than the enemies of the Lord. Rather, they are both on the same level of spiritual salvation. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So over here,
Mataji, I have a question then. In that case, this Putana that you mentioned about, saying she also was blessed to be a nurse in the spiritual sky. But I was in an assumption until now that Putana got salvation like impersonalists will get, like merging into the effulgence of the Bhagavan, or Shishupal or any other enemies of Lord Krishna. I was thinking they all got the salvation like merging into the Brahma Jyoti. But you were mentioning about a nurse in the spiritual planet. That means she got elevated more than like Brahma Jyoti Sakshatkara.
Yes. Absolutely. So, not Brahmajyoti Sakshatkara, but she actually got, Bhagwan realization, because she went in the spiritual world, no? See, I mentioned there are two servants of two nurses of Krishna. So she became the third nurse of Krishna. We have babysitters who come home. So, some principal babysitter who takes care of the child, after the mother. So that's how that actually position she got, that way.
So Mataji, all the people who were killed by Krishna, they get into the spiritual
No.
planets, not the effulgence, or
No. See, like these all other demons, this Bakasur, Aghasur and all now, they actually went into the Brahma Jyoti. Okay. They got liberation, but they went into the Brahma Jyoti. This Putana is only the one because she's a woman and he had inaugurated the demon killing process. So she got the place of a Dhatri. And because she comes into the lineage of Bali Maharaj, that is why she got actually liberated more. Because Bali Maharaj is actually the grandchild of Prahlad Maharaj, right? And that because Prahlad Maharaj's lineage mein aati hai na wo. That is why she got that this completely in Golok Vrindavan. Imagine she got that place. But all the other demons did not get. Other demons or other soldiers, even on the Kurukshetra battlefield, they did not get that same salvation or same destination what Putana got. Some of them got Brahma Jyoti, some of them went Vaikuntha, some of them here, some of them there. So, ye yatha ma prapadente. However, you reciprocate with Krishna that much. But Putana is a very special exception where Krishna wanted to show that his special mercy on Putana. But as I told you previously, also her intention was what? The first primary intention was that she wanted to serve the Lord in the mood of a mother. That was her first intention. But when Vaman Dev cheated, Bali Maharaj, we cannot say cheated exactly, but she thought that when when Bali Maharaj was cheated, and that's why she said that let me, I wish I can kill this person. But Krishna, what he did, he took that primary reason and then he pushed her into the spiritual world that way.
Okay. Mataji, are there any other examples other than Putana who were given this special mercy? Like those who are killed by Lord Krishna by himself, are there any other examples who got into spiritual planet than the...
No other example as such. No, only Putana is one exception actually.
So even Prahlad Maharaj's father also is just into impersonal, whoever got like Brahma Jyoti or same thing.
Father, I'll have to check out what destination Prahlad Maharaj's father got actually.
And this Kaliya Mardana also they say, so even that also got into only the Tejas part.
Kaliya? Who is Kaliya Mardana? Kaliya the snake. Oh no, Kaliya the snake is still living in Fiji. He's still there existing. So he's not delivered as yet. He's still existing somewhere in Fiji. In that particular country in Fiji. But yes, Krishna removed his envy, whatever the poison of envy he had, that poison he removed from Kaliya. So Kaliya got purified actually. And Kaliya was also very lucky. Imagine the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord on his body. That marks, Shankha Chakra, Gada Padma, all those marks are there on his hoods till now also.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. So we'll just, continue with this tomorrow. Because from 25th to 34th now there are all pastimes in Vraja. What all pastimes Krishna performed in Vraja? We'll be continuing with that. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.